Hello, my name is Dr. Ruth Newstifter, or Dr. Ruthie, and I'm the author of The Nice Girl's Guide to Talking Dirty. You can find me at exploringintimacy.com where I blog, but today I'm here thanks to the great folks at funwares.com who are making it possible for me to answer your questions about sex and relationships. If you want to write me a question, I certainly hope you will. My email address is right down there, askdrruthie@funwares.com. You can also tweet me at AskDrRuthie, at Dr. Ruthie. That's a little @ DrRuthie, and I will look forward to hearing your questions. Recently I received an email from someone who had a great question, and I'll just summarize it for you so that I don't reveal anything too personal. Basically, it's someone who lent some sex toys to a friend, and it turned out that that friend had some sexually transmitted infections, STIs. We used to call them STDs for disease, but now we call them STIs for infection. And they found out after they got their toys back. So I'm going to kind of broaden the question out a little bit to talk about what to do if you find yourself in this situation and how to keep yourself safe and keep your toys happy and safe. The first thing is that it's really a wise idea to invest in toys that are easy to clean. And by that, it could be a high-quality silicone dildo that, according to the directions, can be boiled for a little while, or can be run on hot water with no soap on the top shelf of your dishwasher in order to sanitize it really well. Some people also use bleach products, bleach dipping, bleach wipes, and whatnot to sanitize a toy that, that can accept that kind of sanitizing and not be ruined. And then you really have to make sure that you get whatever kind of cleanser you use off that toy afterwards, so you really wash it down with water when you're done. You can also use condoms with your toys. And this can help to protect them when the whole thing is encased, and you're careful about removing the condom after it's been used. Unfortunately, if you have a toy that's hard to clean and can't be cleaned well, or that is made out of a porous material like jelly rubber, or has like seams or stuff in it, or has scratches or dings in the outer material, it could be impossible to really get them all the way clean. So if you have toys like that, especially older toys, but even some newer, cheaper toys, those are going to be really hard to keep clean, even just for yourself from use to use. So I always suggest that people avoid those types of toys. So a high-quality silicone toy, hard plastic, well-treated stone, or well-treated with body-safe materials, wood, I think I said ceramic already, glass, you gotta just make sure there's no chips on your ceramic or your glass, of course. Ooh, that would be painful. All of those materials are body safe and really easy to clean as long as the design is such that you can clean in there. You know, sometimes there's seams between the chrome and the silicone where like stuff can accumulate. Those are places that you can't really get clean, so not a good idea, but you could put a condom over them. So the first step is getting toys that you can really clean, that are designed well. And believe it or not, well-designed toys are a little too hard to find, a little harder to find than they should be. If you decide to share toys, know that there are some bacteria and viruses that can live a long time. So especially, I mean, if you're just passing them back and forth, you really need to be using a fresh condom with each partner, put on with clean hands, or by the partner who's receiving it. You know, just being really careful with that, because that's really the same as sharing your body fluids in any other way. Just because it's on a toy instead of on a penis or a vulva or a hand, it doesn't make it any safer. If we share toys back and forth, because these, you know, some viruses and bacteria can live a long time, just the fact that maybe it had a little shelf time between people doesn't necessarily mean that all those things will be, you know, safe and died off. So, you know, you can actually call the CDC and ask them questions about how long it takes for things to die off a sex toy, or how they need to be cleaned in order to kill different kinds of potential bacteria and virus. That is one resource. I've called them before, so I know that they've at least heard questions from me about that stuff, probably other people too. But the sharing of sex toys, you really need something that, I mean, I frankly would just suggest getting toys that you can either completely encase in condoms and just touch the buttons through the condom, or that you can, better yet, can boil or run through the dishwasher. So that is what I would suggest. So yes, there is the possibility, absolutely, of passing different STIs between partners. So if you've come into contact with a sex toy that has recently and within the last few months, come into contact with someone who may have an STI, or you just don't know if they have one or not, because, universal precautions, we're just going to assume that everyone has something and just use full protective measures all the time, because oftentimes people don't know if they have something. We don't know if they have something, so we just have to assume they do and play it extra safe. So if you have come in contact with a toy, you don't know if it could have given you something or not, or you know that there's a high likelihood because the other person ended up telling you they have an STI, or you found out somehow, then you need to go and get yourself tested. And the way we do that is we contact our healthcare provider. It may be a hospital, it may be a doctor. We may go to a clinic for sexual health concerns, or really anywhere that does STI testing. Getting HIV testing alone is not enough. Getting all of your other STI tests and not HIV is not enough. We need the full battery of the tests for sexually transmitted infections, including HIV, not just HIV. And we want to go ahead and get those tests, and you can explain to the doctor what happened. And they may say, well, that's pretty low risk, I don't think you need to worry about it. But, if there's a risk, we go in and we get our test taken, because that's how we're responsible to ourselves, and that's how we're responsible to our partners. And ask them how frequently you need to come in. There's always evolving information on that. So they'll want to know how long it's been since you likely came in contact with a higher risk situation, which would be the toy in this case. And that will help them gauge if you need to come back for a second round of testing, just to make extra sure for things that take a while to show up in the blood. I'm Dr. Ruthie, and I hope that this information helps you. Have fun with your sex toys, but be safe with your sex toys, as with all different kinds of sex. And I'll see you at the next video.